The story followed William Surfor, a boy bullied for his lack of magic. After making a promise to a friend, he became determined to become the greatest mage in history. The narrative began with William fighting a monster in a dungeon to prove he could succeed at the Rigor Magic Academy despite his inability to use magic. He defeated the monster with his sword, but countless more appeared. As he prepared to face them, thinking he did not need magic, the scene shifted to the academy. There, Professor Edward Sarpin taught a class. He called William to the front and instructed him to use magic to start a fire. William tried but failed miserably, prompting laughter from the class. Edward silenced them but expressed surprise that William could not even use basic magic, telling him he was only good at taking notes. A student named Shion demonstrated the spell, but Edward reprimanded him for acting without permission. Shion apologized, explaining he had only wanted to help William since he could not complete the task. Edward extinguished the fire and declared that magic was everything in their world. He stated that students earned respect by showing magical talent and that those incapable of using magic had no place in the academy, suggesting they should withdraw immediately. After class, Shion asked William if he was not embarrassed by going to the dungeon to defeat weak monsters. A girl named Colette intervened, and Shion wondered why she was standing up for him. Colette said William was her friend, mentioning he worked extremely hard and was nicer than Shion. Shion countered that those qualities did not make a good mage and decided to leave, not wanting to waste time around William and telling him he should drop out. Colette told William to ignore them, thinking something was wrong with Edward for making him a laughingstock. William said he was okay because it was true he could not use magic. He even considered himself lucky because the incident made a cute girl worry about him, causing Colette to blush. She asked what he wanted from her, and he explained he was just telling the truth because he had always been told to compliment girls. Colette became embarrassed but reminded herself to maintain her composure as a member of a noble family, even if in name only. Noticing William staring at the sky, Colette asked if something was wrong. He mentioned he was just admiring the beautiful day. The narrative then explained that long ago, people did not know the sky, trapped in darkness while the world was terrorized by invaders known as the Celestial Host. 5 wizards opposed them and, with combined power, defeated the host. They cast a seal over the sky, bringing peace. The title of Maia had been passed down from them ever since, given only to the strongest mags. Colette wondered if the Ice Maiden was watching over them, and William imagined her sitting by a window. In a flashback, William talked with a girl named Ilaria, who told him the sun and moon floated in the real sky. She believed if they became Maia and climbed the tower, they would see the sunset. They promised to climb it together. Ilaria later became the youngest person to earn the title of Maia and left for the tower's top. William, with no talent for magic, was far from her level but still worked hard to fulfill his promise. In the present, Professor Verner scolded William for going to the dungeon alone. William apologized but still wanted credit points for killing a monster. Verner gave him 2 points and asked if he still dreamed of becoming a Maia, noting he needed to advance to the upper institute first. To advance, he needed a large amount of credit points from writing, spell work, and practice categories. Since he could not use magic, he could never get spell work credits. William said he already knew this, which was why he focused on practice and the dungeon. Verner thought it impossible for him to advance and warned him not to worry about becoming a Maia when he might fail to graduate, telling him he needed for credits by the week's end to get a passing mark. William panicked and searched his notes for a monster worth 4 points. Verner decided to help him, telling him about a monster called a Baskerville on the 6th floor. William hugged him in thanks. Shion overheard their conversation and decided to hunt the monster himself to get William expelled. William reached the 6th floor, where his companion, Kiki, seemed worried. He assured her everything was fine, stating they just had to avoid the monster's flaming breath and depended on her nose to guide them. Meanwhile, Shion and his friends also entered the 6th floor. As Shion was about to explain his plan, they were suddenly attacked by a powerful monster called an evil sentinel worth 10 credit points. It punched one of them into a wall. Shion's friend panicked, and William heard his scream, immediately going to find them. Upon arrival, William saw Shion struggling as his fire magic had no effect on the monster. William wondered if he should help, given Shion always bullied him, but he suddenly remembered how Ilaria used to think he was braver than anyone. He decided to jump into battle, blocking the monster from reaching Shion. Meanwhile, Edward approached Verner, telling him to use his familiar to find Shion's group, who had entered the dungeon without permission. Edward revealed they were on the 6th floor, and Verner told him to relax because William was also there. William fought the monster head-on, landing a hit. It smashed the ground, but William moved with ridiculous speed and landed a decisive blow. Watching the fight, Shion could not believe this was the same William he had bullied. Verner and Edward also watched. Edward was shocked by William's strength. Verner explained that despite having no magic, William possessed superhuman strength, durability, and the ability to understand enemy strategies after seeing them once. The monster tried to kill him, but William dodged, sliced off its arm, slashed through an energy blast, and cut the monster in half. He asked Shion if he was okay, but Shion was upset at being saved by someone with no magic. Edward was furious that William had a power surpassing magic. The next day, William reported to Verner, who gave him 10 credit points. William was happy he would not be expelled. In a flashback 5 years earlier, students talked about William, thinking he was only admitted to lure Ilaria. Since she had already become a Maia, they believed he was about to be expelled. He went with Verner to meet Headmaster Cauldron, who gave him a knife and attacked him with fire spells. William destroyed them all. Impressed, Cauldron allowed him to continue at the academy. William cried, wondering if he would ever reach Ilaria. She thought it might be possible if he kept working hard. Back in the present, Verner gave a lecture explaining the concept of ascension in the tower, which meant advancing to the upper institute to become one of the Maia on the top floor. To ascend, mags could create new magic or earn 7,200 credits from the academy. Verner explained most students used credits but yelled at the class because everyone was on the verge of failing. After class, Colette joined William, knowing he had earned every writing credit. Verner was still hard on him, and William told her it was because he failed spell work. He thought Verner was a great teacher for giving supplementary lessons when other professors did not care if they failed. They ran into Shion, whose friends told everyone he had defeated an evil Sentinel. Shion knew he had not done it. Seeing William, he grabbed him, wondering why he was so powerful without magic. Colette interfered, and Shion left. Meanwhile, Edward went to Cauldron, telling her to expel William. She did not think it fair as he was in his last year. Edward argued there was no place for someone who could not use magic. Cauldron showed him William's records, explaining he was exceptional in everything except magic. Even if he could not become a Maia, other options were available. She stated the academy needed to produce scholars for the fated day, but Edward argued the problem was that William wanted to be a Maia, not a scholar. Cauldron told Edward to test him and decide his fate based on his performance. William apologized to Colette because he needed her to open his locker. When she did, she saw his sword. William mentioned he did not have permission to carry it on campus. They went to the study hall, where William read about dwarfs. Colette said he did not have to work so hard since he was good at writing, but William knew losing even 1 credit would prevent him from ascending the tower. He wanted to learn about dwarfs, relating to them because they never gave up. Colette saw his white hair and thought it was from overwork. She wanted to pull it out, but they were interrupted by Edward, who told William to come to the spell hall alone. There, Edward explained he would give William a supplementary lesson since he always failed spell work. Edward used dark magic, telling William he needed to land a hit to pass the test. If he succeeded, he would receive 5 credit points for spell work but would have to leave the academy if he failed. Verner went to Cauldron, who showed him the fight. He was shocked and asked what was happening, but she forbade him from stopping it. She explained that since she had heard Verner's defense of William, she must also recognize Edward's concerns equally. She revealed she had allowed Edward to decide William's future. Verner thought it was too cruel, as Edward was the closest person to becoming a Maia and had reached the tower's top even after a defeat. Edward tried to hit William with dark magic. William dodged but was shocked by its power, knowing Edward used only a low-level spell. William went on the offensive, but Edward stopped him with a barrier. Thinking William hopeless, Edward hit him with black flames. William was shocked by the speed of the spells, cast without incantations. Edward said he would only use black flames to attack and make a shield, claiming he would make William despair with just 2 spells. He overlapped his spells, and William tried to dodge but was hit, realizing he could not beat Edward. He thought he might have put up a fight with his sword. Meanwhile, Colette went to the locker room, thinking Edward might be torturing William. Kiki arrived injured and clawed at William's locker. Back at the fight, Edward talked about the Battle of Gonzo, where dwarfs prepared an army of 10,000 soldiers, but one mage defeated them. He stepped on William's head, telling him to give up his dreams because a sword could never be as strong as a wand. William insisted he still wanted to become a Maia. Edward wondered what drove him to such an impossible goal. William said he wanted to be with the person he loved. Edward thought he was an idiot, but William explained that even if his reason sounded ridiculous, he would not give up. Colette suddenly arrived, giving William his sword. Edward attacked with black flames but was surprised when William slashed through them. Edward prepared a barrage of flames again. William worried about getting hit but charged in. As he dodged, he remembered that in the Battle of Gonzo, one dwarf never gave up and managed to land a hit on the mage. William jumped to the ceiling and rushed at Edward with incredible speed, shattering his barrier and landing a hit. Edward left, giving William the 5 credit points as promised. Cauldron was impressed he had succeeded. William distributed newspapers around the city. He tripped on stairs but caught all except one. Picking it up, he saw news that Ilaria had invented new magic, making her the first to create 12 original spells. He read on, realizing the Upper Institute had issued an order to the academy, and the client was Ilaria herself. William went to his dorm and asked his roommate, Rosti, to prepare a magic item for him. Rosti wondered why he was in such a rush. William said the order came from Ilaria, so he needed to get there quickly. He explained he had no classes that day and would prioritize completing the order. Rosti wondered if the job was difficult. William revealed he just needed to collect some Frostwalker cores, as Ilaria needed magic catalysts. All students who helped would be compensated. He was going to the 4th floor, which was why he needed Rosti's items. Rosti gave them to him and also gave him a piece of bread, telling him to take care. A large number of students turned up in the dungeon, which William had expected due to Ilaria's order. As he was about to start hunting, Shion startled him with an attack. Everyone praised Shion, but he was not satisfied, remembering how amazing William was against the evil Sentinel. William was impressed by Shion and decided to go deeper, thinking Shion might defeat all the monsters in the area. William came across a girl named Iris about to be attacked by 3 monsters. He rescued her, slicing them in half. She was shocked he used a sword instead of magic and thanked him. Meanwhile, Verner told students that creating new magic was a great achievement guaranteeing advancement in the tower. He mentioned magic was named after its inventor, so their names would be remembered in history. The students knew it was not easy. One wondered how strong Ilaria was, and Verner said she was one of the most powerful mags in history. Colette thought Ilaria was amazing, and her friend said she was jealous Ilaria would steal William from her, making Colette embarrassed. In the dungeon, William told Iris who he was and asked if she hated him for having no magic. She said she had no reason to hate him, as he had just saved her life. He asked if she was also there for Ilaria's order. She explained she wanted to help the Maia because she also wanted to become one. William thought about how they did not know what the real sky looked like because it was covered by an enormous barrier created by the Maia, protecting the world from invaders. According to legend, if the barrier fell, the world would be covered in darkness and calamity would begin. Students followed the Maia's orders, thinking it would help them support the sky. Iris mentioned a time she was surrounded by monsters and prepared for death, but Ilaria saved her by freezing them all. She had been a fan ever since and wanted to help by acting on her order, but she had not found a Frostwalker and thought other students might have defeated them all. William told her that Frostwalkers left ice fragments behind, and the fragments he found were double the normal size, meaning a powerful one was ahead in an area undetectable by search magic. Iris wondered how he knew so much without using magic. He said spells were amazing but not absolute, especially inside a dungeon. A monster suddenly appeared, about to smash Iris. William saved her, and she saw it was a Frost Rex, the highest form of a Frost Walker, worth 6 credit points. It fired a laser beam that froze everything in its path, but William evaded. He told Iris to stay put, but she stopped him, thinking physical attacks would not work. She recognized it as the dwarf killer, knowing it froze everything it touched, so they needed long-range magic. William was confident, having defeated one before. He rushed towards it as it shot its laser, missing him. It started destroying the dungeon. William threw a magic item from Rusty, hooking it onto the monster. He wrapped a rope around its body, and it began freezing everything. William knew it was weak against fire, so he set the rope on fire, causing a massive explosion that blew the monster to pieces. Iris was shocked by his power and wondered how to report the fight, as he was completely different from the rumors. Later, Iris met the Maia, revealing they had sent her to find someone capable of helping them. They knew if attacked by the celestial host now, they could not stop it, so they needed all the help they could get. She told them William was the only interesting prospect she found. The Maia had different opinions on whether to let him in. Two argued and prepared to fight, but another stopped them, saying the grand festival was about to start, and they would decide after seeing the results. The narrative explained there were 12,000 total credit points available at the academy. Students were seen fighting golems in a test. Shion and Colette defeated theirs and passed, but William struggled. He thought about punching his golem, but other students mocked him. He got hit and they thought he was a failure. Two top students, Wiggle and Lionel, easily overwhelmed their golems and passed. Another boy, Julius, appeared, firing multiple ice shards that hit all the other golems, turning them into roses. He activated his spell, encasing them in ice, and passed. He met Wiggle and Lionel, declaring his intent to beat them, saying he had acquired a new method. They said they looked forward to it. Everyone admired them as the only students with over 10,000 credit points. William thought about how he did not even have enough to graduate, having only around 5,000. He felt depressed. Julius walked past, telling William he was in the way. Julius's friends were impressed he passed with a single spell, thinking he would definitely get scouted at the grand festival. Colette had lunch with William, telling him the festival was also his chance to get scouted, as trying to advance without spell work was unrealistic. She mentioned it was possible to advance without enough credit points if he got scouted. The Grand Festival was an event held every 2 years with various competitions, where high mags from the tower came as scouts. Colette said the festival was basically a contest between students from different tower factions. There were 5 factions for different elements, each led by a Maia. Being chosen by a faction guaranteed becoming a tower member, but William thought it unlikely since he would need to perform amazing magic. Colette mentioned there were also people called Watchers who could take talented people to the tower, but William thought they did not really exist. He said he should not try to stand out, remembering how everyone thought he was cheating at the last festival, which still traumatized him. He decided to help behind the scenes. They saw other students practicing. Colette mentioned scouts would also come from other capitals, so there were opportunities besides the tower, and she told him to promote himself. She helped him with his locker but suddenly sensed something, seeing someone had cast a barrier with sound-dampening magic. She had Kiki look, and Kiki dispelled the barrier. They opened the locker to find a hidden stairway and decided to check it out. Inside, other students were placing bets on who would win the festival events. William saw Shion there. As Shion prepared to insult him, Colette told him to back off. William asked what he was doing there. Shion said he was there to see the odds on himself and was annoyed everyone only cared about the top 3. He mentioned he was only behind them because he lost credits in writing exams but thought he was on par with them in magical skill. After their next class, Colette asked William if he was busy, but he said he needed to work, depressing her. He worked at Gina's Tavern, serving a dwarf named Donnan. Donnan was surprised by how hardworking William was, delivering newspapers and working at night. William noted that since he did not qualify for a scholarship, he needed to work to pay for it. Rusty also helped, thinking it was fun to work without magic. William had asked him to help because other part-timers had quit, and everyone liked having William around. As they cleaned up, Rusty wondered why William worked there, as Verner could get him a better job. William said he did not want to trouble Verner and liked hanging out with the dwarfs. William accidentally dropped his spoon. As he went to pick it up, Julius entered the tavern. Julius thought the place was a dump, but his friend said nowhere else was open. As William stood up, Julius was surprised to see him, saying he fit right in with the savages. Donnan was offended. Julius called dwarfs an inferior race who had to come from another world. He told Donnan to know his place. The narrative explained the dwarfs' world was destroyed by the celestial host, and they escaped to this world but were not well regarded since they could not use magic. If a dwarf laid hands on a mage, it would threaten their standing. Rusty served the boys a bean dish, but they laughed, thinking it unfit to eat. They continued insulting the dwarfs. William confronted them, telling them to take back what they said. He said dwarven beans were grown from barren soil, a culmination of their wisdom and proof they survived harsh conditions. Julius kicked the dish away, and it landed on William. The two boys prepared to mess with him, but he instantly smashed them both into the ground. He said they were the savages. Julius decided to get serious. William dodged his ice but got pinned to the wall. Julius created a rose on his chest and prepared to activate it. Donnan told him to stop, but seeing William's face, he changed his mind, telling William to join the grand festival so he could humiliate him in front of everyone. Donnan thought it was a bad idea, but William agreed, telling Julius to apologize to Donnan and the others if he won. The grand festival began. The first event was the sky race, where Lyanna was ahead of everyone on her dragon, and others struggled to keep up. The audience was amazed by her skills, thinking she would surely win. Verner noted that tower scouts were already in the stands analyzing everything. Iris believed it was because Maia from outside the tower were also there to find talent. Lyanna won the sky race for the second year in a row and set a new record, making everyone understand why she was a top 3 student. Iris put on her glasses and excused herself, telling Cauldron there was someone she wanted to cheer for. Shion's friends wished him luck for the next event, saying they would cheer for him even though they did not qualify. He thanked them and remembered Colette had requested him to join her team, so he rushed to find her, believing she would always choose him over William. When he found her, he was stunned to see William with her. Colette revealed they were short on credit points and needed him on their team to fill the gap. Shion was frustrated that a loser like William was participating and that they were on the same team, so he yelled at him. William ignored him and stared at Julius, who passed behind him. Colette revealed William wanted to defeat Julius. Shion was angry at being ignored. The festival host, Mike, announced the beginning of the afternoon events and introduced Edward as a guest commentator, calling him the most hated teacher. Edward asked if Mike wanted to die. Mike announced the next competition was the Crown Attack, the main event, played in teams of 3. He told the elf faction to get to work, and they used magic to create 5 zones around the stadium. Mike said teams would begin on the outside and must get through zones containing traps and obstacles set by professors. The winner would be the first team to reach the stadium and claim the crown. It was a battle royal, so teams could attack each other. Edward said they would be evaluated on teamwork, treating it like a real dungeon dive. Mike mentioned all top students were participating, but the favorites were Wiggle and Julius. He had bet all his savings on Wiggle but also wanted to watch Colette's squad, which had Shion and William. Other students could not believe William was competing, thinking he was crazy. Verner was also shocked, reminding him to be careful, but William was determined to win. The teams took positions, and the competition began. All teams rushed forward but were immediately faced with countless golems. William rushed ahead, but others thought it useless, remembering he could not scratch a golem during an exam. William called for Colette's help, and she used her magic to create an earth gauntlet for him, which he used to blow a golem away, clearing a path. His strength shocked the audience. Colette mentioned that even though William could not use magic, he was not breaking rules by using a magic gauntlet. Shion thought about when William saved him, which made him disgusted with himself, so he had trained almost to death but realized William was still stronger. Their squad took the lead, first into the Badlands zone, with giant cubes attacking with stone bullets. William punched the ground, raising a shield to block attacks. He called for Colette again, and she created earth swords for him. He threw them, destroying the cubes one by one, missing one, and finishing it off by slashing it. Mike announced they were ahead. Shion's friends coped by saying it was all thanks to Colette's magic. The scouts were amazed by William's speed. Edward thought his knowledge and experience allowed efficient movement, and his reflexes enabled quick attacks. Iris cheered for him. 2 other teams were eliminated by traps. Julius heard noise from the stadium, and his team revealed William's squad was in the lead. Julius told them not to worry. William's team reached the final zone, the Enchanted Woods. After crossing it, they would reach the stadium, but they were suddenly surrounded by circle traps. William instantly cut all of them, changing their direction so they attacked themselves. Mike wondered what Edward thought, as he had set those traps, but Edward just seemed annoyed. William approached the stadium but knew they were likely to run into another team, so he took a different route to set a trap for Julius. He was suddenly attacked by ice. Julius was already there. William wondered if he was alone. Julius unleashed countless ice beams. Shion started melting the ice and cast a powerful spell, but he used it on William. Colette barely made a shield in time. A huge explosion destroyed the forest. Shion told Julius to go away, not wanting anyone to interrupt his fight with William. Colette and William could not believe their teammate was acting so childish. Shion said he tried to be a good person for Colette but could not take it anymore. Julius suddenly created a giant ice wall, trapping Colette behind it. William worried about her but was attacked by Shion and lost his sword. He told Shion it was not the time to fight, but Shion insisted, telling him to pick up his sword. In a flashback, other students used to mock William for having no magic talent. Shion did not like it and decided to take William as his underling, but William ignored him, making Shion angry. Since that day, Shion had despised him. Back in the present, William dodged Shion's attacks and hid behind a tree, but Shion unleashed a flame whip that grabbed William's leg and lifted him up. William cut the rope and saved himself. Shion said jumping and dodging would not do much. He invited William to attack, but William mentioned their teammates and his promise to Donnan to punish Julius, so he needed to fight him instead. Shion got angry, telling William that if he did not fight back, he would destroy him, making William wonder if fighting was the only option. Meanwhile, the audience became aware of the fight. Mike asked Edward for his take. Edward revealed fighting with teammates was against the rules and would be a significant mark against them with the scouts. Mike was surprised Edward was happy about the fight, while others were upset at Shion's stupid decision. Kiki was worried, and Rosti also wondered about the situation. Iris joined them and cheered for William. Rosti mentioned it was unexpected for her to cheer for one person, as he thought she would cheer for the crowd's favorite. Iris revealed she was not initially interested in William but had become obsessed with him. She asked if Rosti was also a fan. He said he loved William more than anything as his roommate. Meanwhile, Colette rushed to stop William and Shion but found Julius, who told her to stop running or people would think she was not suitable for her title as the Earth Princess. She got angry and warned him to shut his mouth, but Julius attacked with ice. She defended herself, but he was just triggering a trap, causing a huge blast. The audience was confused, realizing Julius was in several places at once, confronting each of the other squads. Wiggle was happy to see him, and Julius reminded him of his declaration to deal with him. Wiggle used wind magic, revealing it was just an ice clone. Mike was happy to see Wiggle beating Julius since his money was on the line. The scout from the elf faction, Phils, said Wiggle was average, neither exceeding nor failing expectations. She wanted to go home as an introvert, but her companion, Lef, said she could not leave because they needed to report to Lady Eleanor. William wondered why Shion was so fixated on fighting him. He remembered when he used to get bullied and was aware he was the biggest failure, so he did not want Shion to take his side, thinking it selfish, and he did not want to shift from his goal of meeting Ilaria. Shion shot at him, and he ran away, but Shion used magic to call his guardian, a flaming falcon. The falcon rushed towards William, but he cut its wing and ran at Shion. The falcon followed, and William thought he needed to cut through its core to destroy it. The falcon regenerated its wing and shot fire, which William dodged, but Shion attacked from the front. William blocked with his gauntlet and, though attacked from all directions, saved himself. Edward was impressed by Shion, thinking he had surpassed student level by using high-level fire magic and calling a guardian. The scout from the fire faction recognized Shion's strength, thinking that even with fewer credits than the top 3, the festival had allowed him to stand out. He told his companion to report to Lord Carrot that they had found an unexpected talent. William asked why Shion was after him. Shion revealed that even the sight of him was irritating because his resolve to never give up was infuriating. Shion felt always ignored, and William never looked at him even though Shion was better at magic. He did not care about William's situation and was determined to crush him once and for all. William was shocked, thinking about the time he told Shion to leave him alone. He thought it would have been selfish to ask Shion to be his friend since he was a loser, but deep down he also wanted recognition. He realized Shion acknowledged him and decided to take him on. Shion was happy to see him looking at him and prepared a wide-scale attack magic. He sent his falcon, and William faced it head-on, cutting through its core. He rushed at Shion, who prepared his final attack, but Colette suddenly created a wall to stop them. William wondered what happened to Julius. Colette said she beat him, and he disappeared. Shion got embarrassed seeing her clothes, but she blamed him for starting the fight. She told William to go after Julius, saying she could handle Shion. Shion told her not to get in his way, but she yelled at him. William gave her his jacket and thanked her, making her blush. He told Shion they would fight another time and headed to the stadium. Shion told him to come back. At the stadium, the crowd waited to see who would arrive first. Julius's group appeared, seeming unchallenged, but William suddenly came flying in and crashed behind them, challenging Julius. Meanwhile, in the tower, Ilaria was by the window. Her attendant, Sissa, came to find her but realized she was sleeping. Ilaria wondered what she wanted. Sissa gave her reports from their scouts, telling her to consider Julius as a successor for the Ice faction. At the stadium, Julius was happy to see William, as he would not have been satisfied winning without humiliating him. William said he did not plan on losing. Julius covered the area with mist, so William relied on sensing their magic. He realized they were surrounding him and was attacked from behind but dodged all attacks. He charged through the mist and found Julius but was attacked by a 4th ice spell. He wondered where it came from, and Julius revealed they had not even moved. William realized he was fighting clones. Julius blew one up, freezing William in place. Verner was shocked, as the cloning spell was one of Ilaria's 12 original spells. William wondered how Julius could use it. Julius said he was just built different, on the level of the Maia, declaring he would one day take everything from Ilaria. William got mad and broke free but was attacked from all sides by clones. Julius used another spell, and the clones converged, forming a barrier that trapped William. Julius summoned an enormous ice crater to crush him. Edward was impressed he won without moving. Julius called out to the scouts, boasting about perfecting Ilaria's magic and saying he would become her successor. The ice cracked, and William broke free, thanking Julius for cooling his head since he got worked up after hearing Ilaria's name. Julius launched another attack, but William dodged and knocked out Julius's 2 friends. He noted Julius had not perfected Ilaria's spell, and the clones started to shatter, revealing Julius used his friends to help control them. William said Julius was not even close to Ilaria's level. In the tower, Ilaria considered him but noted she was not looking for a successor but a sword to be by her side. Julius created more clones to surround William, but William read their attacks. Julius knew he was not good enough to control for clones yet but thought they could act as decoys. William suddenly charged at his real body. Julius created a wall but was pushed back. He wondered how William could tell. William noted the clones had a negative body temperature, and when not controlled correctly, ice seeped from their feet. Julius wondered how someone with no talent knew more about the spell than him. William said he grew up with Ilaria at an orphanage, admired and studied her magic but could never reach her. Ilaria thought his hard work would pay off. William told Julius he knew everything about her magic, revealing Ilaria created the spell when she was only 2, so it was nothing to brag about. Julius fell to his knees, realizing he was on the level of an infant. He started laughing, refusing to lose, and summoned more clones, deciding to win with sheer force. William revealed Ilaria used to bully him with even more clones. Julius launched his attack, but William dodged and stabbed one clone. Julius got scared and ran, ordering the clones to attack, but William blocked everything and took them out one by one. He threw his sword to destroy the last clone and delivered the finishing blow on Julius. The crowd could not believe he won. Colette and Shion finally made it to the stadium. They just needed to grab the crown, but Wiggle took it. Mike was excited. The event ended. Ilaria asked Sissa if there was magic that could go back in time, revealing she was not bullying William with her clones but wanted to play with him all by herself. Shion could not believe William beat Julius but swore to be the one to defeat him. William apologized for not getting the crown, but Colette was glad he was okay. William was happy he kept his promise. William and his friends drank with the dwarfs, celebrating his victory. Donnan asked if he had been scouted by the tower. Colette revealed he was not, as they did not even win the event, and she blamed Shion for the outcome. Rosti asked about Shion. William said he invited him, but Shion refused. Donnan thought it was okay because William won and got a proper apology. Julius was seen washing dishes. Gina told him they were short-staffed and to work faster because he still needed to serve customers. He realized his reputation was ruined for losing to William and ran to perform other tasks. Colette mentioned he got what he deserved. Verner thought William would have a hard time when he returned to the academy because he had shown everyone what he could do. Colette thought they would just stop underestimating him, but Verner explained it was not that simple. The next day, students talked about an upcoming event, the all-student practice, where they needed to survive in the dungeon for a week in parties. Everyone searched for capable party members. William walked around, and 2 students approached him, inviting him to join their party, admitting he was ridiculously strong. Other students surrounded him, all wanting to explore the dungeon with him, fighting over him. Colette realized they were interested because of his power and stopped them, saying they had no shame, reminding them they used to bully him. She thought he was angry, but he said he was happy they wanted to be his friend. A girl invited him, but Colette stopped her, saying he would be busy shopping with her that evening. Colette realized it sounded like a date, and her roommate, Rose, told her to wear something cute. William studied in his room when Rosti asked what he would do tomorrow. William said he was going shopping with Colette, who persuaded him by saying they needed items for the all-student practice. The next day, Colette waited at a plaza, wondering if she was really going on a date. William arrived, greeting her and saying she looked good, making his heart race. She became flustered, but Rosti suddenly arrived, introducing himself as William's roommate and saying he looked forward to shopping with her. Colette was confused. William explained Rosti wanted to come along. Rosti suddenly held William's hand, saying it was time to go. Colette freaked out, wondering about their relationship. She observed them, noting Rosti was too close to William, and realized her date was ruined. They returned to the plaza. William noticed Colette seemed upset and asked if something was wrong. She asked about Rosti, saying they had a weird relationship and wondering if Rosti was a girl. William confirmed Rosti was a guy but had always been a bit weird. Rosti gave them drinks and sat beside William, who wondered why Rosti did not have one. Rosti said he would share with him. Colette offered her drink, but Rosti stared at her and told William to get his sword maintained without them. William was confused. Colette explained dwarfs did not like seeing mags at their forge, so it was better if he went alone. Rosti walked away. Colette asked Rosti if he liked William. He said he loved him more than anyone. She mentioned she used to hug William until 4 years ago. Rosti revealed he took baths with him every night and told her to imagine what they got up to. William realized Rusty and Colette were acting strange, thinking they did not like each other. Lioness suddenly called him, and he recognized her as Miss Perfect, knowing she earned all credits in 3 subjects. She told him to follow her, needing to talk. She took him to a room with the other top students and Shion. She said it was almost time for the all-student practice and wanted to form a party with all of them. Shion and Julius were against it because they did not like William. He wondered why she brought him there when everyone knew they hated him, but he realized she was completely clueless. Shion grabbed him, but Wiggle transformed their surroundings with illusion magic, mentioning mags were not barbarians. Shion released William. William noted Wiggle used illusion magic only usable by elves. Wiggle suggested listening to Lioness. She said she wanted to form a party with them because they were the best mags in the school. William stood out the most at the festival, and she thought he had something they lacked for the dungeon. Julius thought he would slow them down without magic, and Shion did not want him to join. Wiggle reminded them they lost to William, so they had no right to look down on him. Julius said Lioness had more credits than Wiggle. Wiggle admitted it was true and said that was why he respected her opinion, as she was nothing like them. Lioness explained she wanted to use them to ascend the tower as the top student to attain fame and honor. William wondered if she had not been scouted. She revealed the Thunder faction had reached out, so he wondered why she still wanted to ascend. She explained everyone in her family had a short lifespan, and she wanted to achieve overwhelming results to bring honor to her family before she died. She wanted to become a Maia and knew everyone had ambitions, so she told them to drop a coin in a goblet if her proposal benefited them. Wiggle agreed, thinking their party would achieve the best results. Julius also joined to earn more credits. Shion dropped his coin without a word. William took time to think but ultimately joined. Later, Rusty and Colette searched for William and saw him approaching. They asked why he was not at the forge. He walked past, saying he would join Lioness' party for the all-student practice. The next day, Verner told everyone the event would begin in 10 days, with floors 7 to 10 unlocked so students could hunt high-credit monsters. He said it was the only opportunity to earn over 1,000 credits at once and told them about floor keepers, worth a large number of credits. Edward mentioned they could die, revealing for students were eaten by monsters last year, and told them not to be reckless, knowing their limits. Everyone gathered at a base on the 6th floor. Lioness wondered why Colette decided to join the party. Colette explained she just wanted to be with William. Rusty said he could not join them, but William told him it was okay and thanked him for his magic items. The event was about to begin. Edward told everyone they needed to survive in the dungeon for 1 week, with base camps on each floor marked on maps. They prepared to dive deeper. Meanwhile, a mysterious man searched for something in the dungeon. His companion killed another man. The man realized the event had begun and they would need to slaughter everybody to complete their mission. The practice event began. Wiggle used wind magic to push them off a cliff, but they slowed before landing. They were immediately attacked by a swarm of crimson ants. William thought he needed to be the party's shield since mags were weak at close combat, but Wiggle told him not to worry because Lioness' family magic specialized in close fighting. Lioness said they needed to get ahead to avoid competing with other parties for credits. In a flashback to a class, Verner taught William about the search spell, the most important in the dungeon for detecting enemies. In the present, William struggled to fight because others detected monsters before him. Julius said he was in the way. William killed an ant, but Wiggle took out the rest with a single spell. He questioned Lioness' judgment for bringing William, but she thought he would be more useful against tougher monsters. Julius absorbed magical traces with his wand as a record for credits, but William had to collect drops as proof since he could not absorb traces, making others look down on him. Colette wondered if he was okay, but he tried to stay positive. The group continued killing monsters, and William realized there was nothing he could do, feeling useless. Lioness noted a day had passed and decided they should rest. Wiggle used illusion magic to create flames to ward off monsters. William handed out food, but Wiggle told him to leave it on the ground, saying elves only allowed those they deemed worthy to touch them, and he had only acknowledged Lioness. Colette thought he was rude, but William decided to respect his customs. Lionel reminded them their goal was to defeat the Nabas, the boss on the 10th floor, worth 110 credits. She wanted to show the tower what they were capable of and told them to conserve mana while taking the shortest path. Meanwhile, the mysterious duo continued killing monsters and everyone in their way. As Lionel's group continued to the 10th floor, Julius noticed all monsters had already been defeated. Wiggle said no other parties could be ahead. William saw they were defeated with force, not magic. They made it to the boss room but found the Nabas already dead. They used search spells and realized it had just been defeated. Although the search spell was important, it struggled with detecting traps, and Mags could use hide to counter it. William relied on his senses and detected a creature above them. It fired an energy blast, blowing him away. The monster got behind Wiggle, taking him out instantly. The others tried to react, but the monster crushed the ground, causing them all to fall. William tried to get to Wiggle while everyone in the dungeon felt it shake. William reached Wiggle, who was in terrible condition. William realized they were on the 11th floor, outside the Academy's area and considered a danger zone only Tower Mags could survive. Lionel said they were in the Nightmare Mall, where monster power was on a completely different level, and they needed to find the others before they all died. In a dream, other elves looked down on Wiggle for being weak, and the Elf Queen cast him away. He woke as William defeated a giant serpent. When William tried to help, Wiggle slapped his hand away, refusing to be touched, but William insisted on helping even if Wiggle came after him in the future. Wiggle ended up treating himself. William checked supplies, noting they had enough for 24 hours at most. He said they needed to find the others, but Wiggle mentioned the protocol was to stay put and wait for rescue. William said the monster on the floor above made timely help unlikely. On the 8th floor, everyone panicked as monsters stampeded and destroyed their camp. Verner contacted another professor, Eliza, who said their camp was destroyed and professors were found dead with their heads ripped off, with no word from lower floors. Verner realized something was going on. Edward rushed to him, saying the practice event was cancelled and they needed to help students. William and Wiggle looked around. Wiggle spammed his search spell. William told him to save his mana, as repeatedly using it would not help, and he needed to trust him. Wiggle wondered how William could be so calm. William said his only option to get credits for the tower was from the practice, so he had spent all his time and effort learning about it. Kiki alerted them to monsters, and they realized they were surrounded. William rushed at two in front, and Wiggle blasted those behind, surprised by William's strength. The pig behind Wiggle got back up, and Wiggle knew he could not counterattack in time, so he used a fire illusion to buy time, but it did not work. He was about to be eaten, but William saved him. William noted the pigs had no eyes and relied on smell, so illusions did not work. Wiggle thought he was a disgrace. William tried to cheer him up, saying he was talented, but Wiggle revealed it was not true, he was considered a failure. Other elves had advanced to the tower, and he was the only one still at the academy after 6 years because he lacked talent. Elves called him a disgrace. Illusion magic was supposed to have physical form, but his illusions could not harm anyone no matter how hard he tried. William reminded him he was a top student, but Wiggle said they were inferior to other mags, and students still at the academy were just leftovers. The scene cut to Lionel, who explained true geniuses did not need graduation, advancing by inventing spells or getting scouted. She said she was not as talented, just a leftover. Colette reminded her everyone called her Miss Perfect, but Lionel thought she was just a big fish in a small pond. She revealed she saw a first-year student become a Maia, meaning Ilaria, and said she was nowhere near as talented. Colette said she knew a boy with no magic talent who worked hard to get stronger even when bullied, and he would laugh if he heard Lionel mocking herself. Back with William and Wiggle, Wiggle talked about his foster sister, Eleanor. They grew up together, and he taught her spells, but he immediately learned her magic was on another level as a high elf. Everyone learned of her talent, so she was taken away and became a Maia while Wiggle trained to be with her but was still nowhere near her level, thinking himself pathetic. William realized they were similar. Wiggle thought William was just trying to make him feel better and told him to leave him behind. William said Wiggle was an incredible elf and promised to protect him until he got back on his feet. They fought a group of monsters worth over 5 credits each. William sliced them to pieces. Wiggle wondered how he defeated them so easily. William asked if Wiggle was okay, and Wiggle wondered why William protected him. William said it was because Wiggle was a great elf. Kiki alerted them. William heard a strange sound, so Wiggle used his search spell but found nothing. William thought monsters were about to spawn. A creature suddenly appeared, filling the room with water and releasing fire spirits. William knew they were bad news and used his grenades to destroy the creature. Wiggle asked about the monsters. William said they were called Borka, immune to physical attacks with high magic resistance, defeatable only with Elder Illusion magic, so he needed Wiggle's help. Wiggle said he could not do it, his illusion magic was not perfect, and he started crying, thinking he would fail again. William said it was okay to fail because they were not geniuses and could not move forward without failing. Wiggle thought William would die if he failed, but William assured him he would be fine, saying he would not die because Alaria was waiting in the tower. The monsters attacked, but William protected Wiggle and charged in, cutting one monster's leg, but it immediately regenerated. Wiggle realized William's attacks were working, so he needed to use his magic to save him. He summoned wind to attack, but it had no physical form and did not affect the monsters. He became worried, thinking William would die because of him. The monsters tried to burn William, but Kiki defended him. William told Wiggle not to give up, saying he believed in him. Wiggle recalled Elle seeing him as a failure but realized William counted on him, and he refused to give up on his dream to be with Eleanor, so he tried again. He attacked with his spell and managed to destroy the monsters, covering the area with trees. William was happy he did it, but Wiggle knelt before him, apologizing for being rude and saying he respected him as a warrior. William admitted he also respected Wiggle for training hard to get stronger. William used a map from Rosti. Wiggle realized he had not been walking aimlessly. Kiki remembered their companion scent and helped William find them. Julius and Shion were together. Julius looked for water, but Shion reminded him they had limited supplies and told him to use ice magic to create water. Julius became upset, saying they needed to save magic for search spells. They argued, and Julius realized they were incompatible. He used his search spell and detected nothing, but Shion suddenly pulled him away, saying he could sense enemies approaching. He reminded Julius that demons could escape search detection. Several evil sentinels appeared. Julius wondered why they were gathering there, thinking it had something to do with the monster on the 10th floor. Shion told him to use clones as he prepared to fight, but Julius thought he was insane, saying there were too many. Shion said he was humiliated because of them and summoned his phoenix to burn them all. The camp on the 7th floor was attacked by evil sentinels. Students ran for their lives. One fell and was about to be crushed, but Edward summoned chains to eliminate the monsters and ordered students to evacuate to the 6th floor. Verner arrived riding a dragon, taking Edward with him. Students realized he was amazing for sky racing in the dungeon. Verner revealed other students had been evacuated, only Lionel's party had made it past the 8th floor. Edward thought they were trying to defeat the floor keeper on the 10th floor and said finding them would be difficult, but Verner said he knew where they were because his orb was linked to Kiki's crystal, and they were already on the 11th floor. Colette left stones on the ground. She noted 16 hours had passed since they fell to the 11th floor, they were running out of food and water, and monsters kept appearing, so Lionel had reached her limit. Lionel blamed herself for putting everyone in danger due to her ambition, but Colette said nobody expected the monster on the 10th floor and told her not to blame herself, reminding her she decided to tag along uninvited. William and Wiggle detected Mags nearby and realized Shion had defeated the Sentinels. Wiggle could not believe he wiped them out, but Julius revealed he sacrificed his clones to help. Wiggle asked about the girls, but Julius did not know where they were, so William realized they were still alone. A man approached Colette and Lionel. Colette recognized him as a teacher, but he fell. He greeted them, and his companion appeared, asking how the students got there since he was supposed to kill them on upper floors. The man explained he sent a monster to eliminate them, but they survived when it destroyed the floor. Colette realized the men killed their professors and asked who they were. The man said they were there to destroy the fake sky. The girls realized they planned to bring calamity by destroying the barrier created by the Maia. The man tried to decapitate them, but William suddenly arrived with the others, saying they followed the stones. He charged in, but the man blew him away, saying he wanted to add their heads to his collection. His companion dragged him away, saying they needed to leave, so he summoned a monster to get rid of them. A gate appeared above them, and the monster from the 10th floor appeared. William recognized it as an evil Grand Duke worth 270 credits. He explained the 1000th rule, the tower's conversion formula where 1 credit equaled a monster as powerful as a mage with 1000 credits. Using that, the Duke was equal to a mage with 270,000 credits. It blasted an energy beam, destroying everything. Julius realized it was ridiculously powerful. Lionel told everyone to retreat. They ran as Wiggle used illusion magic to stop the Duke, but it tore through his magic and was about to kill him. William saved him, and they escaped. Colette realized the Duke was overpowered. William said he had read about it. It was a greater demon from the 25th floor. Shion wondered if they outran it, but William explained it was still searching for them. Julius realized countless monsters were in the area. William said the Duke ordered lesser demons to hunt them down. Shion realized the Duke caused the mass outbreak of Sentinels. Julius wondered if they would make it back alive. Lionel thought the situation hopeless, but William said they just needed to defeat the Duke. He explained lesser demons were establishing a domain across other floors because the Duke was on the 11th, but they would become disorganized once it was defeated, possibly allowing escape. Julius thought they did not stand a chance, but William said he had a plan needing everyone's help. Julius thought nobody would support him, but Wiggle said he believed in William for saving his life countless times. Colette said she trusted William because he knew the dungeon better than anyone. Shion said he would rather fight than hide. Wiggle told Lionel to trust William. She admitted she was wrong about him, saying he deserved to be their leader as the only one not crushed by despair, and they would obey his orders. Julius thought they could not win with William's plan, but William said they would fail without him because they needed his powers. He begged Julius to help, promising to teach him the secret of Illyria's spell. They decided to fight. The Duke blasted them, but they jumped away. Julius started chanting his ultimate spell as clones surrounded the Duke. William had told him clones allowed him to carry on incantations, continuing chanting even after a clone was destroyed, so he could use them for advanced spells requiring long incantations. The Duke destroyed his clones, but Julius came out of hiding and continued chanting. The Duke prepared to kill him, but his companions attacked it. They realized their attacks did not work. William struck from above but did nothing, noting the Duke had iron curtain wings protecting it from damage. They just needed to act as decoys until Julius finished. Julius summoned countless icicles, hitting the Duke, but it stood. Everyone worried, but William had known this would happen and told Lionel to deliver the finishing blow while it recovered. She charged with ridiculous speed, aiming for its core, but a barrier protected it. She wondered if the mysterious duo had placed the barrier before leaving. The Duke launched a counterattack. William saved her, and Kiki protected them with a barrier, but it shattered, and his goggles broke. Verner and Edward watched. Verner wondered what a Duke was doing on the 11th floor, but Edward said they had no time to think and needed to hurry. William and Lionel fell, but Wiggle used magic to help them land safely. He asked if they were okay. Lionel said she was fine but worried about William, who protected her with his body. The Duke prepared to attack, so Lionel told everyone to retreat with William, saying she would buy time. She thought she failed everyone by not delivering the finishing blow and revealed her family members died early because they put their lives on the line to protect comrades. Wiggle decided to join her, wanting to protect William. They charged in. Lionel used her magic to attack the Duke. Wiggle restrained it with his spell, and she prepared to stab its core, but it blew them away. Shion realized they were no match and thought they would die, not wanting them to die in vain, so he considered retreating with William. William told Shion to punch him because he would not stop shaking, saying he was useless without the goggles Alaria gave him and that he was scared. Shion became upset, reminding him he led them there and started beating him up, blaming him for everything. William suddenly stopped Shion, saying he had finally stopped shaking and thanked him for helping him regain his composure. He told Colette to take care of Kiki and charged at the Duke. Shion wondered what was wrong with him, thinking he was not scared at all. Colette explained he was always afraid because he fought with a sword and had to charge at stronger opponents. She said he was a coward but did not flee from battle because he was scared of running away, thinking he was courageous, and decided to help him. Shion felt pathetic for thinking about retreating. William dodged the Duke's attacks, thinking they could not defeat it without getting rid of its wings. Colette joined, noting Lionel and Wiggle had reached their limit, so he needed to defeat it with her. He was scared without his goggles but more afraid of losing people close to him, so he fought on. He gave Colette a signal. The Duke fired countless beams, but William knew how to counter it, having seen it before. He suddenly disappeared. Colette realized he was preparing to attack, so she used her magic to give him a stone blade. He used it to cut the Duke's wing, making it angry. Shion suddenly appeared, chanting as he rode his phoenix. The Duke destroyed his phoenix, but he jumped down and blasted it with his ultimate spell. The Duke endured it. Everyone could not believe his spell did not work. They realized a wand could not defeat the Duke. William noted his sword was not strong enough but suddenly saw a crystal. Rusty watched from a distance, hoping the crystal would help him remember something important. William recalled a mysterious woman raising a baby, saying a wand and sword would come together to protect the world. He realized he might defeat the Duke by combining magic with his sword and told Shion to cast his spell. Shion summoned flames, and William struck, absorbing them into his sword. Everyone could not believe what they saw, his sword was clad in flames. He charged at the Duke, feeling a mysterious power flowing through his body. The Duke continued attacking, but he cut through its magic and delivered the finishing blow. The Duke burnt to pieces, and William's sword returned to normal, but he wondered about the power he used. All the other monsters rushed at them. They had no strength left, and Julius was about to be killed. Verner realized they would not make it in time, but the monsters were suddenly caught by a spell and taken out instantly. William wondered what happened. They saw it was Maius, the king of the Maia, who saved them. He said they fought well, and everyone bowed in respect. One of his subordinates, Finn, jumped down, surprised the sword was still alive, and introduced himself to William. The mysterious duo was seen with a sword, mentioning they successfully completed their mission and were glad they did not run into Maius. The practice event ended. 11 professors were killed. Wiggle wondered about the duo. Julius wondered what would have happened without Maius. Lionel was glad they survived and thanked everyone for being in the party, but her stomach growled. Colette gave her an apple, but she kept eating and asking for more. Colette could not believe how much she ate. Lionel claimed it was due to her close combat magic using more energy, but Colette did not buy it, thinking she was just a fatty. Lionel praised William, saying they would have died without him, but he said he could not have done it without everyone working together. Julius reminded them how William almost got them killed, but Colette quickly stuffed an apple in his mouth. Shion wondered about the power William used at the end, thinking it was insane. Lionel was not sure if it was even magic, and William did not really know. He remembered Finn. Lionel mentioned reading about a special tribe that could not use magic but had accumulated generations of dungeon knowledge. Since the time of the Mage Queen, they had served as dungeon guides. William found Finn somehow familiar. Finn met with Cauldron, saying they made it to the 49th floor. He revealed a broken sword, and Cauldron wondered if it was a mage slayer. Finn said they ran into a shady group on the 40th floor, and even 20 of their high mags were killed, so he warned her to be careful as something was being planned behind the scenes. He left the sword for analysis and asked about William, saying swords were under his jurisdiction. Cauldron said William chose to climb the tower to become a Maia. Finn thought it unheard of for a sword to want to become a wand but decided to allow it, saying he would also be getting involved. William returned to training. Colette wondered how he could move when everyone else was still injured. He said all he could do was keep moving forward. Others watched from their room, wondering if he was built different. Shion suddenly jumped out, telling William to fight him. William told him not to push himself, but Shion reminded him he promised a proper fight after the Grand Festival. William agreed, and they continued from where they left off. This is where the video ends. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.